Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to historic Dodgertown in Vero Beach, Florida, for the District H Championship game. Chipola College has already advanced on to the NJCAA tournament, where they will participate in St. George, Utah, on May 18th through the 21st. And now the winner of this Florida Southwestern State and Seminole State College game will join them in St. George and also play for the FCSAA championship about a half hour after the conclusion of this game. But this is really the one right now that the teams are gunning for, because this gives you a chance to win the national championship. If you don't win this one, you don't go to the tournament and you don't have a chance at that ultimate prize. The winner of this game will also get a chance to win a state championship, which, you know, you can get your rings and get your trophies and all that kind of stuff. So a very important game for both teams, for the history of the teams, and these kinds of things can really propel you into the future, help with recruiting, all different sorts of positive impacts that a win in this game can have. The lineups for today: the visiting team is going to be Florida Southwestern State College. They're going to roll out the same lineup they just rolled out against Northwest Florida State, and they defeated them 1-0 behind a one-hitter from Courtney Gettins, who's going to be back in the circle. One walk and one hit. Only allowed 3 base runners. Another one reached on a fielder's choice, but they didn't gain a base there, so really nothing hurt from Courtney Gettins. So she'll have to go back out there and pitch another 7 innings to try to get a win. Lineup for the visitors on the scoreboard: Florida Southwestern State College Buccaneers, coached by Robert Murray. Leading off, the second baseman, number 4, Marta Fuentes. Batting second, the center fielder, number 1, Kryza Bulanati. Batting third, the designated player, number 3, Kayla Rangiafa. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 12, Molly Rourke. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 6, Holly Ann Dorn. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 2, Grayson Gladden. And batting seventh, the shortstop, number 14, Michaela Werahiko. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 13, Savannah Ritalik. Batting ninth, the third baseman, number 23, Samantha Luckett. And in the circle, number 20, Courtney Gettins. Again, Gettins with a one-hitter in the last game, which concluded about a half hour ago. And now the starting lineup for the home team, Seminole State College. Leading off, playing center field, number 2, Kate Kelly. Batting second, the left fielder, number 6, Jordan Davis. Batting third, the designated player, number 22, Morgan Williams. Batting fourth, the shortstop, number 1, Stevie Ames. Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 10, Aylin Kayada. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 24, Claudia Pizzarelli. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 11, Megan Langham. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 13, Kirsten Osit. And batting ninth, the right fielder, number 32, Kadisha McCowan. And in the circle for the Raiders of Seminole State College, number 23, Brooke Kirshner. The head coach for Seminole State College, Courtney Miller. We'll have Kyle Wilson join us here momentarily. He's doing all the dirty work of getting everything set up with the stats and everything like that. These quick turnarounds don't allow you for a lot of time to get yourself situated. So Kyle's taking care of that, and we are just moments away from first pitch, and it should be an exciting game. Looking forward to these two teams going at it. You've really got a team in Florida Southwestern State College that's hit the ball exceptionally well in this tournament, and you've got a team like Seminole State College who gave up a combined 2 runs in their first 3 games. They slipped up a little bit against Chipola last night, but have really, besides that, pitched very, very well during this tournament. They're going through the lineups right now. As we speak, the teams are coming out onto the field, and we are very, very close to getting this thing underway. We'll step away for just a moment, and we'll be back with the first pitch live from Dodgertown. You're watching the FCSAA tournament right here on YouTube. Well, we are about to get this thing going. Brooke Kirshner, number 23, in the circle. Kirshner this season, 18-8. So Kirshner with some experience in the circle. Courtney Gettins, 36-4 on her resume. And we now have Kyle Wilson with us. Kyle, welcome back. Great job on the last game.
Appreciate it.
Got to see a one-hitter, almost a no-hitter, huh? She had it through 6, Gettins did, so she was cruising against a really, really high-powered Northwest Florida team that you got to watch a lot of this tournament. I didn't have them over on my field, but to one-hit a team like that, and we talked last night, you kind of thought that might be the team to beat today. Obviously, they only got beat 1-0, so, you know, but...
Can I change my prediction, please?
Well, that's okay. We don't have to make predictions. We don't have a dog in the fight. We just want to see a good game. And it's unfortunate one of these teams is going to have to lose. Either one of them is going to be a great representation of the FCSAA out in St. George, Utah, along with Chipola. And I think one of these teams plus Chipola has a really good chance of winning the whole thing.
If Chipola bats the way that they have throughout this tournament, it's going to be very, very tough to beat them.
Yeah, they'll be hard to beat, that's for sure. Now, you get out there, and a lot of those teams can slug the ball. So it'll be interesting to see what happens out there. That one put in play out into left field, base hit for the leadoff hitter, Marta Fuentes. And when Fuentes gets on base, she can start to wreak havoc on the base paths. She's got over 50 steals, only been caught 3 times. She singles out to left field, and now Kryza Bulanati will bat. Bulanati's got 57 steals and has not been caught yet this season. Not thrown out once. 57 for 57.
Seminole State out there wearing the home whites. And the Buccaneers in purple and black.
220 all around here at historic Dodgertown on left, right, and center. And the wind blowing in. It's going to be tough to get one out of here today.
Fuentes steals second.
Stolen base, Marta Fuentes. So just like that, runner at second. That's what Fuentes and Bulanati do. They had over 250 steals this season. They get on base and they run. They put pressure on you, and that's the way that this team operates. Coach Robert Murray likes to try to get you moving. That's going to be an infield hit. Now runners at first and third, and right away Florida Southwestern State playing a little small ball with a stolen base and a bunt, and have runners at first and third with nobody out. And now Kayla Rangiafa will bat, the designated player.
Rangiafa, the catcher, freshman, 5'11" from New Zealand.
Yeah, she's one of 3 players actually from New Zealand on this roster, and a lot of talent apparently in New Zealand. There goes the runner. And the ball gets away. They threw down to third. A run will score. The runner will go to third base, and the score is 1-0. So a stolen base for Bulanati, and then she advances to third. Fuentes scores. And just like that, Florida Southwestern State out ahead 1-0.
And that was my mistake. Molly Rourke is playing catcher for the Buccaneers in this game.
Rangiafa can catch, though. She is listed as a catcher. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike. Count 0-2. Runner at third. 1 run home. Fuentes singled to left, stole second, then stole third.
And there's a...
That one falls in. And the run comes home to score a hit for Rangiafa. 2-0, Florida Southwestern State. Florida Southwestern State in their first year of competition.
That would have been a very tough play out there for Kadisha McGowan out there.
That wind is just knocks the ball down, so McGowan had to run even further to try to get to that one. The wind blowing dead in.
She's playing out there pretty deep and right, and that ball just died not far outside of the infield.
Yeah, and the second baseman, I don't think thought it was going to end up there. And again, with the wind swirling, it's tough to tell where the ball is going to come down, and you don't want to run into your teammate. So a lot of communication and a lot of being able to determine where the ball is at goes into trying to catch a fly ball here today. Anywhere, it doesn't matter where it's at. Now batting is the catcher, Molly Rourke. Molly Rourke takes down low, ball one. That's Rangiafa at first base. 3 straight singles.
No outs.
Got 3 stolen bases this inning. Excuse me, 1 stolen base. 2 stolen bases, jeez Louise. 1 stolen base each for Fuentes and Bulinati.
We'll see if they send Rangiafa.
She has been known to run a little bit. She does have 17 stolen bases. So, again, over 250, almost 260 stolen bases now, including the tournament. They had 248 coming in. That one hit out to the second baseman. Catch made for the out. Runner will return to first.
Megan Langham over at second for Seminole State College.
Appreciate you tuning in to the FCSAA Sports YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. You can come back and watch the games anytime, and they will be archived for your viewing pleasure. There's a stolen base. Ball goes into center field, and Rangiafa with the 3rd steal of the inning. This is Holly Ann Dorn, the first baseman batting. Dorn hits one, and that may stay in. The first baseman comes down, and
that's Pizzarelli making the play at first. Calling off Oset, the catcher.
So a big out. That runner, Rangiafa, still out there at second base in scoring position. But getting that second out was key for the pitcher, Brooke Kirshner. Kirshner tosses a strike. And the count 0-1. To Grayson Gladden, the left fielder. Lefty steps in there. Gladden hit. That one should get foul, and it does. Grayson Gladden hit .327 in the regular season, with second on the team with 6 triples. She had 8 doubles, a home run, and 35 RBI. Oh-2 pitch to Gladden. Popped up. Second baseman underneath it for the catch. That's the 3rd out. We're headed to the bottom half of the second. Florida Southwestern State College struck early, 3 hits, 3 stolen bases, 2 runs scored, 1 runner left on, and we are going to the bottom half of the first. Due up for Seminole State College, top of the order, Kate Kelly, Jordan Davis, and Morgan Williams. We'll be right back. You're watching the FCSAA State Tournament right here on YouTube.
We're back here in the bottom half of the first inning. Seminole State in an early hole, down 2-0 to Florida Southwestern College. 2 runs came around to score in the top of the first. Bulinati and Fuentes both scored for the Buccaneers. That ball hit by Kate Kelly to shallow left field. Gladden makes the catch and records the out. Bringing up Jordan Davis. Davis, the freshman from Winter Springs, Florida, and Lake Mary High School.
Well, if you're Florida Southwestern State, you scored 2 in the first. You really want to try to make this a quick inning and get your bats back up. You had 3 hits, 3 stolen bases, put a lot of pressure on Seminole State College, so you don't want to allow them back into the game already. That one looks like it's going to be a hit. Fair ball. And the runner will hold up at first, but a single for Jordan Davis. And Davis came in with a very high batting average, hitting .449 in 167 at-bats. 1 out runner at first.
.358 batter Morgan Williams at the plate.
Well, strike 1 to Williams on the outside corner from Gettins. Gettins a 1-hit shutout. Just about 40 minutes ago that game finished up.
Count 1-1.
Swing and a miss.
Tell you, in our game last night, Williams hit an absolute bomb.
Yeah, they were down 6-0, I believe, or 4-0, and she hit a solo shot to kind of give some life to Seminole State College. Chipola was able to kind of shut it down a little bit, but she did hit one. That one, they called off the shortstop, and they get the, no, they drop it. They had a force opportunity at second, and she could, all they had to do was flip it to her. So no error on that one because the ball just fell in. Mental errors, you can't count those. So a mistake. Sounds like the outfielder called it off, or somebody did.
So runners on first and second. Morgan Williams at first. Davis over at second.
Stevie Ames at the plate with a couple runners on, 1 out. Kate Kelly flew out to left to start the inning. That one fouled. One hit up in the air and down. Bases loaded.
That ball had some spin on it. Hit off the end of the bat and fell in front of Fuentes. Fuentes not able to make that play. That ball had a little bit of backspin on it. When that hit in front of Fuentes, spun back toward the pitcher.
Now 3 straight hits for Seminole State College. So they've equaled the 3 hits that Florida Southwestern State had. They had it with nobody out. And now with 1 out, the bases are loaded for Aylin Kayata, who will come to bat. The third baseman came in to the tournament with a .322 average, a home run, 24 RBI, and 5 doubles. Kayata, a hitter who will spray the ball around, look to go to the opposite field.
3 hits already this inning.
Both teams with 3 hits back to back to back. after what was a not very offensive game. There's already been more runs in this game than there was in the game that just ended about 45 minutes ago.
You are right.
And we're not even through the first inning. So this one already has a completely different feel. That's one of the beautiful things about softball is you can have a pitching duel, and same thing with baseball. In the next game, it can be 8-6. That one on the outside corner for a strike.
Tell you what,
Evens the count.
Does feel like it's a little warmer today than it has been the last couple days.
Yeah, I think today is, I think you're right. I think it's a little bit hotter. And I think the humidity is going to continue rocking us like it has. But it's not really us I'm concerned about. It's those players down there. Hopefully they're getting some water and some Gatorade. I know the Dodgertown crew makes sure they are full, that their coolers are full of water, and that there is obviously some shade down there with the dugouts, which is a good thing. Swing and a miss. Strikeout. So a big strikeout for Gettins. And now Claudia Pizzarelli will come to the plate. And the camera moving around out there is because of the wind. I don't know if you can tell by looking at the tents back there, but the wind is blowing ferociously. The palm trees are completely blowing sideways right now. First pitch strike. It's Morgan Williams there at second. Jordan Davis is at third, and Stevie Ames is at first.
That was Gettin's 6th strikeout of the day.
Big opportunity.
First of the game.
Big opportunity here. That one hit to short, fielded, out at first base.
That was a great play over there by Warahiko at shortstop. That ball took a hot bounce. She ended up catching it by her head and firing over to first base.
So the 6-3 put away on Pizzarelli ends the inning. And we'll be back with more from this District H championship game. The winner will advance to the NJCAA National Tournament May 18th through the 21st in St. George, Utah. We'll be back right after this. Warahiko steps in there, top half of the second, number 7 hitter for the Buccaneers. She takes strike 2, quickly 0-2 from Brooke Kirshner to Warahiko. Warahiko, yesterday, she just had your typical 4-for-4, 9 RBI game with a triple and a stolen base. You know, run-of-the-mill type of a game for a shortstop. And guess what? She has another hit. They cannot get her out. Luckily, she comes to bat in this situation with nobody on. But Warahiko right now is just finding where defenders are not and just wearing out opposing pitchers. That'll bring up Savannah Ritalik with a runner on, nobody out. She lays down a bunt. Throw goes to first from Pizzarelli. Sack bunt laid down. Runner advances up to second. And now the number 9 hitter, Samantha Luckett, will bat with Marta Fuentes waiting on deck. Fuentes is a very dangerous hitter. She singled and stole a base and then scored in the first inning. And barring a crazy double play, she's going to get in at bat, swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch.
So, Scott, I got a question about that.
Sure.
So, the first baseman there on that bunt comes home.
Right.
And second baseman goes over to cover.
Right.
So, is that a 1-4 put out?
It's a 3-4 put out. First base is 3. I know what you're saying. You mean
okay,
a first base to second base type put out. And that is called a beautiful catch by the pitcher, a diving catch. Can I write that in my scorebook? Beautiful catch. What a play. And so that was a bunt.
Notes you can.
Bunt, pop up. I'm getting very detailed on my scorebook. That way I can relay this information to people later. Bunt, pop up for the second out. So runner at second now, and Marta Fuentes will bat for the second time. She singled, stole a base, and scored.
The problem with that, Scott, is you got to be able to read your handwriting.
Yeah, well, if I can read it, that's all that matters.
Well, if I can read Tom Collette's handwriting, I should be able to read yours.
Very good point. Tom Collette, voice of the Florida Gator basketball team.
And radio voice for Gator volleyball.
Actually, he's doing good on the radio, too. At his own show there with
Mr. Duels.
Yep. And they do a good job. Tom sounds very good on the air. He's starting to pick it up and find a knack for himself there. 2-0 pitch to Fuentes.
Oh, that's right over the first baseman.
Rips one. The throw will come home. Safe at home is Werahiko. So she scores, and the lead is now 3-0. A 2-out RBI single.
And there
for Fuentes.
Fuentes just finds the open spot in the field. That first baseman was playing a little in and just is able to slap that right over the first baseman's head and into shallow right field.
Just handles the bat very well. Has good balance at the plate. She has a good balanced swing, so she can stay on the ball.
Oh, what a throw.
And out. Fuentes thrown out trying to steal. Beautiful throw.
Throwing down there to Ames. Osit to Ames to catch Fuentes stealing.
So Bulanati will come back to the plate next inning, but that will do it for the Buccaneers.
You're watching the 2016 FCSAA Softball Championships here on YouTube. We're back here from historic Dodgertown, and she's safe in play. That ball is safe. Not able to make the play over at first base is done. Sorry, that was Megan Langham, second baseman for Seminole State College, with a hit over to first base. Dunn went to make that catch and bobbles it. That's going to move Langham on to first and bring up Kirsten Osett, the catcher for Seminole State College. So once again, we're back here in Dodgertown. There's a hit up the middle by Osett. Not able to turn two are the Buccaneers, but they are able to get the lead runner, and that's Langham out at second. Osett now safe at first on the fielder's choice. So, runner at first is catcher Kirsten Osett. Bringing to the plate the right fielder, Kadisha McGowan. McGowan, the right fielder today, is from St. Cloud, Florida. She went to St. Cloud High School. The pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike two from McGowan. Pitch coming from getting 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out on the board for Seminole State College. Count 2-2.
That rise ball, tried to get her to go after that one. A good pitch there from Getton. She's gotten a lot of players to go after that one this tournament. So there's a swing and a miss for a strikeout, and that's her 7th now of the day, 2nd of this game. She gets Kadisha McGowan to cut at that one, and Kyle back to the top of the order, and Kate Kelly.
Kelly, in her first at-bat, flied out to left field over Gladden, able to make a play. And she slaps that to shallow center field for a single, moving the runner over to second. That's Osett at second base, and now Kate Kelly over at first. 2 on with 2 away.
I'll tell you what, both teams are very similar at the top of the order. You've got Kate Kelly and Jordan Davis for Seminole, who really can handle the bat and put the ball all over the field, slap it, slap the ball where they're not.
Fuentes over.
And Bulinati, exactly. Fuentes and Bulinati do kind of the same thing. And then you've got very similar players in Rangiafa and Williams with some power to all fields as well. That one bunted foul for a strike.
Got to make sure you get those bunts down.
The teams are built similar. Florida Southwestern State College Buccaneers maybe a little stronger from top to bottom with the lineup, but Seminole State clearly, based on their 41-22 record, 41 wins don't come because you can't hit, so they can hit, and it should be a good game. It's 3-0 now, but I have a feeling this thing's going to get a little bit closer as we go. There's one out into left.
Oh, a great play over there in left field. Well,
what a catch.
Third base.
Right at the edge of the infield. We'll call that an F7. But Davis almost was able to find another hole there, and what a play. And you've got to come up with some of those defensive plays if you want to win here at the FCSAA tournament. And we'll be back with the top of the third. Florida Southwestern State coming to bat. They lead 3-0. They've got Kryza Bulinati coming to the plate, followed by Kayla Rangiafa and Molly Rourke. So 2, 3, 4 in the order for the Buccaneers when we return to the FCSAA state tournament. Back here at historic Dodgertown in Vero Beach, Florida, Scott Jamieson and Kyle Wilson with you here. The second game of the day. The winner of this District H championship will advance on to the NJCAA tournament in St. George, Utah. Kriza Bulanati batting, and she is quickly behind 0-2 to Brooke Kirschner. O2 pitch. Hit foul on first baseline. Florida Southwestern State jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the first inning with 3 straight hits, 3 stolen bases in that inning, scored 2. Then Wirahiku led off the second with a single, was eventually knocked in with a 2-out RBI single by Fuentes. Fuentes was then thrown out trying to steal second with Bulanati at bat. And that's the situation we are in now with Kriza Bulanati at the plate. Kirschner earlier in the tournament shut out Northwest Florida 3-0. So she does have some good history here at the tournament, in this tournament, in fact. That one fouled off. Now 1-2 the count. I hadn't seen a ball either, but the umpire let us know. It is 1-2 to Bulanati. Bulanati came in with 57 steals with 0 caught stealing. Impressive. That one drilled out to center field, right at the center fielder for the first out. Good positioning out there by Kate Kelly. Rangiafa singled and stole second back in the first inning. She was stranded at second base. Fouled off back. This is the District H Championship. Winner moves on to the NJCAA tournament. St. George, Utah. A lot on the line in this game. The winner will also get to play for the state championship. That one thrown about 30 feet, rolled up there. 2-2. One hit out to right, sort towards right field, but foul. Pitch from Kirschner coming to Rangiafa. Hammered foul. That wind has really picked up. It was already pretty strong. It was picked up even more. And just whipping around out there. Kirschner ready for the 2-2 pitch with 1 out to Rangiafa. And Rangiafa singles right up the middle. Base hit, her second of the day. She's 2 for 2, and Molly Rourke will come to the plate. Rourke lined out to second in her first at bat. Rourke with some power. She hit 12 home runs, in the regular season, has 13 now with the one she hit on Friday against Florida State College Jacksonville. One zero. One out. Runner at first is Kayla Rangiafa. Off-speed pitch, swing and a miss. Good pitch from Kirshner. Got Rourke way out in front. Rangiafa at first from Wellington, New Zealand. That one hit back to the pitcher. Kirshner, a little trouble with it, but able to gather it in and get the out for the second one. That's an important out. Runner moves up to second, but now with 2 outs, it's going to be up to Holly Ann Dorn to try to drive the runner in. She popped out to first in foul territory back in the first inning. Pitch up high.
As you said, wind blowing dead in from center field.
It is really wreaking havoc on our camera out there. Another nice off-speed pitch from Kirshner.
I'm looking at the umbrella over our camera out there, and it's just whipping back and forth.
Yeah, we may have to go take a look and see if it's hitting the camera. It could be making some contact with the camera, causing it to get jostled around. That pitch high. Ball one. Well, you can tell the Buccaneers are trying to sit on a fastball here because they're way out in front on those changeups. They're not necessarily worried about that. They're swinging as if it's going to be a fastball, and if it is, they're planning on getting a hit. That one hit into the air, out to right center. Center fielder underneath it. Kate Kelly makes the catch. And that'll do it for the Buccaneers. They leave one runner stranded, one hit, no errors, no runs. We're going to the bottom half of the third. Seminole State College coming up to bat. Due for the Raiders, Morgan Williams, Stevie Ames, and Aylin Kayata. We'll be right back. You're watching the FCSAA NJCAA Region 8 tournament right here on YouTube.
We are back here from historic Dodgertown in Vero Beach, Florida. The first pitch from Getting to Morgan Williams is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Williams. Williams singled in her first at bat, ended up reaching second base, but was stranded out at second at the end of the inning. The pitch fouled back. Count goes to 2-1. to the designated player, Morgan Williams.
Williams with some home run power. She hit it through the wind last night. I don't know about today. The wind it's died down now all of a sudden a little bit. But
there's a palm tree out there in right field.
Oh, wait, yes, it hasn't died down. I take that back. It has died down here. Look at the palm tree here. It's not moving. Now it sort of is. It's very interesting. You know, I played slow pitch with a guy who he almost liked it when it was blowing in. Phil. We called him Phil from Cleveland, actually.
It sounds like a radio caller.
Yeah, it does sound like a radio caller. Yeah, but Phil from Cleveland, I'll tell you what, man, he could absolutely hit line drives that would just go through the wind. The guy was just a physical specimen and could just drill the ball. So old Phil from Cleveland. So, you know, big, wasn't even a real big guy. He just had that good bat speed. It's a lot of talent. Him and played with Ryan Frost as well. Two pretty talented ball players that the wind didn't matter. Most players, when the wind's blowing in, you know, you have some problems with it. Morgan Williams didn't last night. That one fouled back.
That was a 6-3 put out from Mojico over to Dunn.
So Williams down now to Stevie Ames. Another foul, and now the count. Let me get that out up there, sorry. My apologies. 0-2, the count to Stevie Ames. Pitch outside. Good job by the umpire. She hit the spot, and sometimes that can be deceiving, but that was right over the chalk line of the other batter's box, which is not a strike. Pitchers would like to think that it is, that's part of the plate, but it is not part of the plate. That one, a ground ball to short.
Where he go over.
Nice play.
That's going to retire Ames and bring in Aylin
Kayada. Aylin Kayada, the third baseman, struck out swinging in the first inning. First pitch taken for a ball. Nobody on for Seminole State. They threatened in the first by loading the bases. And then Langham led off the second with a single. They've had some productive at-bats and had some runners on base, just haven't been able to get that clutch hit that they need that Florida Southwestern State has been able to get, which has led them to their 3-0 lead.
Through the first two innings, Seminole State has left 5 runners on base.
And eventually, if you're the coach, you know, that's a frustrating stat, obviously, but then you'd like to believe that,
hey, we're putting ourselves into a good situation.
Right, and now we just got to come up with that hit. That one to shortstop, but through under the glove of the shortstop, Warahiko. And another hit.
It's going to bring up the first baseman, Pizzarelli. In her first at-bat, grounded out over to shortstop. Gettings pitching for the Buccaneers.
Gettings one hitter earlier against Northwest Florida State College.
She got off to a rough start in that game versus Northwest. Settled in. She walked the second batter of the game, Sparks, and then allowed a fielder's choice for McKellen, and then retired 17 straight batters.
Well, really 18. Well, because you count the fielder's choice, and so really, I mean, not that we're nitpicking at that point, but 18, and there's one right there, and she's happy with getting one with that runner on base. So that's going to take us to the 4th inning. Florida Southwestern State College Buccaneers still leading the Seminole State College Raiders 3-0. Big game winner advances on as the District H champions to the NJCAA tournament in St. George, Utah from May 18th to the 21st. So a lot riding on this game. We still got a long ways to go. We'll head to the fourth right after this. You're watching the FCSAA State Tournament on YouTube.
We're back here from Vero Beach and historic Dodgertown. We're in the top half of the fourth inning, leading off Grayson Gladden. We've got Gladden, Warjico, and Ritalik coming up for the Buccaneers. Still pitching for Seminole State College is Brooke Kirschner. There's a put out, 4-3. Langham over to Pizzarelli for the first out in the top of the fourth. That's a 4-3 put out if you're there recording, keeping score at home. Bringing up Michaela Warjico. Warjico's been busy over there at shortstop tonight. She singled in her first at-bat and then came around to score. She scored the third run for Florida Southwestern State. The pitch from Kirschner, taken, strike, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out for the Buccaneers of Florida Southwestern State College. That's hit hard, and you can see the wind absolutely taking that ball. That started in dead center field, right toward the 220 sign. And the center fielder, Kate Kelly, makes her way all the way over to right center, almost right field, to corral that fly ball. It's an F8, moving on to Savannah Ritalik. She's sacrificed in the second. It's a foul ball back onto field number 9. Savannah Ritalik sacrificed in the second. Ritalik out of Naples, Florida, Gulf Coast High School. The pitch. Count, 1 ball, 2 strikes to the 8-hole hitter, Savannah Ritalik. That pitch, high, deuces wild on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for the Buccaneers from Florida Southwestern State College. Ritalik squares up the bunt and brings the bat back. Swing and a miss, strike 3. There's a strikeout for Kirschner. That's going to end the top of the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. 1 strikeout for Kirschner in the fourth. We'll be back with Seminoles half of the fourth. You're watching the FCSAA Softball Championships on YouTube. Back here from historic Dodgertown, we're on field number 8 in Vero Beach. Game number 29. I'm Kyle Wilson, bringing back Scott Jamieson to the broadcast.
Hello, Kyle. Trying to get that camera situated out there. This wind is just really, really not making our life easy right now. We hope that it's not interrupting your viewing experience. I don't think it is. I just think it's one of those things where we're trying to get it as perfect as we can. But that wind is really, really shaking it around out there. Ball hits to short.
Warico over to Dunn to record the out of Megan Langham, the second baseman, bringing up Kirsten Osett, catcher. Reached on a fielder's choice, her last at bat in the second inning.
Well, due up against Courtney Gettens, as you said, is Kirsten Osett, the catcher, who threw out Marta Fuentes earlier, which doesn't happen very often. Threw out trying to steal by actually a pretty comfortable margin. She made a throw about 3 feet up the line, which was perfect for where it needed to be. Wasn't on the bag. Sometimes those ones on the bag are harder to place. When you get it there, you just catch it and kind of swipe because you know you're about even with where the runner is when you catch him up the line, and that's what she was able to do and put it right on her back, and she got her by a couple feet.
Almost a collision there between shortstop and
yeah, it was close. The shortstop
Fuentes.
did a good job staying out of Fuentes' way because you can't obviously impede their path to the bag. So she did a good job of making sure she caught the ball, swiped, and didn't make contact with Fuentes. Oh, 2. To Kirsten Osett. Popped foul back behind the catcher. Hey. 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 They just get stuck in your head, those little chants that they do. That one down low, ball 1 and 2. Keep ourselves entertained when we're here for 3 days.
Well, you can hear him from our crowd microphone out on the roof of the press box here.
And pick up the crowd and the players.
You missed it. I'm sure you didn't miss it. I'm sure you could hear it yesterday. I believe it was Gulf Coast.
It was Gulf Coast. Yes,
you know exactly where I'm going. Yeah, they brought drumsticks and 5-gallon buckets.
Yes, and they actually had like a Lars Ulrich Metallica-style drum session going on in the dugout during the games. Yeah, it was interesting to say the least.
I believe Tyler over here got video of somebody dancing in the stands.
They were. I saw that too, yeah.
The rhythm section.
Some of their fans were dancing. Yeah, it was quite entertaining. You know, you have to have fun.
Well, when you're here for 14 hours a day.
Right.
Over the length of this tournament.
Second or third game of the day for your team, too, to keep you have to find some way to keep up the enthusiasm and keep the team spirit up. And I guess, again, having a rhythm section, Rhythm Nation in the dugout makes it exciting for them. And, hey, whatever works. If you're winning and you're successful.
Where's Gulf Coast out of again?
They're out of Panama City.
So the Panama City rhythm section.
That's right.
Gulf Coast College.
People ducking down there as the ball comes in. It went just past where the netting is. There is netting all around the spectator area.
Thankfully, with 4 games going on at one time, at least during game or day number 1.
It was dangerous.
You had softballs flying all over the place.
That way. Now, past, once you get to the dugouts where the fence ends right there isn't any netting, but it protects over top of all the bleachers and all the spectator area. That one on the inside corner for Gettens, strike 3 called on Kirsten Osett, and Kadisha McCowan will bat. She struck out looking back in the second inning. McCowan will try to get something going here with 2 outs for Seminole State College.
That's Gettens' 3rd strikeout of the game, 8th of the day.
They did play earlier. She tossed a one-hitter against Northwest Florida State College. Northwest Florida State College, the number 3 team coming in the nation, I believe. Right, number 2 in the state.
And that's what's been impressive to me is that, you had 2 teams coming into this tournament that I would have considered the favorites. And, there's a pop-up to the...
The left fielder comes in and actually calls that one off. She was playing shallow enough, I think, or was that the third baseman? It might have been third base. I didn't flip the camera.
That was the left fielder?
Was the left fielder, okay.
Yep.
All right, so now that will take us to the top of the 5th. A 1-2-3 inning for Gettens. Brooke Kirshner, I believe, will be back out in the circle, barring a change, and we'll find out when we come back. FCSAA State Softball Tournament right here on YouTube.
We are back here from Dodgertown. We're on field number 8. I am Kyle Olson. We're here with Scott Jamieson. And we are moving into the top of the 5th inning. The Buccaneers the visiting half of the 5th inning for the Buccaneers.
That one rolls foul on the bunt attempt.
Off the bat from Sam Luckett, third baseman.
Luckett tried to bunt back in the 2nd, popped out. That was the bunt pop-up. I have details written down here in my score sheet to the pitcher who made a diving catch, Brooke Kirshner, on the bunt attempt by...
You're getting all detailed with your notes.
Yes.
That's a
rip.
Drive out to left center field.
She'll hold up at first with a single, but the number 9 hitter getting on base, and now Fuentes and Bulinati with a chance to do what they do best and handle the bat, and maybe bunt, maybe slap, maybe do a little bit of everything, and now they'll get Seminole State College guessing. So Sam Luckett coming up big from the number 9 hole, blasting a single out there to the outfield. Now Fuentes up.
Continuing our thoughts from the last half inning, with the 2 teams coming into this game, I really thought that Central and Northwest Florida were going to be the 2 teams to beat, especially Central. I mean, they were so impressive over the duration of the season, 61-3 record.
Sometimes, you come into a tournament like that and the expectations for yourself are almost too much to handle. I don't know. It's been 2 years in a row now for Central Florida where they haven't, that one gets away, and the runner will advance down to second. So Luckett now standing on second base.
Kind of like Kentucky a couple years ago going into the NCAA basketball tournament undefeated.
Right, exactly. And it's, even though you're the best team, and I don't know that anyone would argue, but that Central Florida was the best team. But once you get here, you're 0-0. And it's the same thing for the baseball tournament in a couple weeks.
And all you have
Santa Fe's ranked number 1, Santa Fe College, but everyone's 0-0. It doesn't matter.
Or
the third, throw across, safe, and she is just so fast. She beat that out. I mean, the third baseman was playing halfway down the line, and Fuentes still beat it out for her 3rd hit of the day.
Runners on first and second now for the Buccaneers. Over at second, Sam Luckett, and at first now Fuentes. And just continuing, and that's very much like Florida baseball just a couple of years ago as well. Number 1 in the nation going into Omaha, and they ran into South Carolina, a team that they were not able to beat during the regular season as well. And you run into a pitcher that you can't bat or you can't face, or someone that's seeing your pitchers very well, and anybody can beat anybody.
Yeah, it is. It's a frustrating situation, but it's one of those. It's kind of what makes the game great. It really does. because as I mentioned before, I love basketball. I'm a huge fan. I call a lot of basketball games. But there are times when you see the two teams who are going to play. It's not a predetermined outcome, but if they're taller and more athletic and have a way better shooting percentage, you can almost bet on who's going to win that game. They're going to try to let it go foul, and it does go foul. Rolls all the way off the chalk.
Finally comes to a dead stop, just foul.
Here you can have teams like Chipola and Seminole, who didn't even win their conference, are part of the three remaining teams. Chipola College has already advanced, and they'll be playing for a state championship, possibly against a team in Florida Southwestern State that's already played 2 games today. Could be their 3rd game of the day. That laid down by Bulinati.
Sacrifice over.
She'll sack runners to 2nd and 3rd, and that's the time to use the sacrifice. And
because you still have 2 outs now to play with.
Right. You got 2 outs to play with, and now you have runners on 2nd and 3rd with a 3-run lead. So you're trying to add to that lead. You're not, and it's later in the game. So runs now are at a premium with Seminole only having 3 at-bats left. So you're trying to put what you can. Plus you have Rangiafa at the plate, who is your number 3 hitter, followed by Molly Rourke. Fouled off. Runners were going from 2nd and 3rd.
Small ball.
Hey, every run here counts. 1 run here gives you the chance that even if they hit a grand slam, you're not losing. So 1 run is, Coach Robert Murray knows 1 run right now is monstrous.
And we've seen a few grand slams this weekend, I believe. I think you've had one over on your field. I think we had one on field 10, and I know we watched one happen last night.
Yeah, Gulf Coast had a grand slam earlier in the tournament over on field 10, I believe, against Palm Beach. But that gives you that feeling that you know you can't be beat with 1 swing. Obviously, a 5th run would be even better.
Or
popped up
in the eyes of
out of play.
Southwestern, another 5 runs wouldn't be a bad thing for them.
They'd love it. Would love 5. I mean, that's, obviously you're getting greedy at that point. 3, you're winning 3-0. So you're happy, but you can't be satisfied because runs can be scored in bunches by Seminole. They do have some bats. They do have Morgan Williams, who you put the bat in her hands with the bases loaded and could potentially have 4 runs. Rangiafa staying alive.
There was one of those through the
I saw it hit
fence.
Off the tent here I was wondering what the heck happened. So it obviously went through that hole that they use for the softball FHSAA tournaments that come through here, and they put a little scissor lift up there and run the cameras from there, which is an interesting viewpoint for the in-play camera. It's a good vantage point. Rangiafa with a good at-bat. She's fouled off multiple pitches, and 1-2, 1 out, runners at 2nd and 3rd. Out at 2nd base is Marta Fuentes. At 3rd, Sam Luckett.
I would like to see that setup with that scissor lift there.
Me too. Hammer right at the 3rd baseman for the catch. Good job by Luckett to get back to the bag, and a nice play over there at 3rd base by Aylin Kayada. Now Molly Rourke will bat. Rourke up with 2 outs and 2 on. Runners at 2nd and 3rd.
0 for 2 on the day. She popped out to 2nd base and grounded to the pitcher in her 2 previous at-bats.
Brooke Kirshner in the circle. She's allowed 3 runs, 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd. She's been good since then, but facing a daunting situation here with the number 4 hitter up. That pitch right there for a strike. That might have been one for Rourke to try to yank down the left field line. That was a good pitch to pull. She didn't think so. So now we'll see what Kirshner has with a 1-1 count.
Winner of this game will play Chipola College in the state championship game.
Yeah, about a half hour after this one's over. More importantly, at least for the time being, is that team will also clinch a spot at the NJCAA tournament. After that, then you start focusing your sights on getting those rings, those FHSAA championship rings. Only one team can do it every year. And there's only 3 teams left with the opportunity: Seminole, Florida Southwestern State, and Chipola. Florida Southwestern State in their first year of competition. Pretty good first year.
They were what college beforehand? They just changed
Edison.
their name, didn't they? Edison? They'll be playing basketball as well next year?
Yes, that is correct. They'll have basketball next season. They have baseball, softball.
Are we going to get them up for a tournament up at Santa Fe?
I don't know. Possibly. I'm sure they'll probably come for the shootout, Florida College's shootout, either at Santa Fe or College of Central Florida.
Always fun weekend.
Yes, it is. A lot of good
Another
competition.
long weekend as well.
That's right. A lot of good basketball games, though. A
lot
of
some
talent
responsibilities
in the state of
to do for that one, huh?
Oh, yeah. But it's a great tournament. It's a good opportunity, sort of like a tournament like this, to feature all the talent that junior college athletics in the state of Florida has to offer. So many talented players, so many players that go on. And, of course, since I work at Santa Fe, I have those in mind. But Malik Smith, who plays for the Atlanta Braves, Keon Broxton with the Milwaukee Brewers, Carla Claudio, a softball player, is playing professionally over in Italy right now. And you've got guys like Ricardo Ratliff at the College of Central Florida, who is playing professional basketball. A lot of guys at the junior. Yeah.
I'm glad that he's not going to be facing Santa Fe again this year.
I remember him too. They won a national championship the year after Ricardo left, believe it or not. But I think he probably helped them recruit a little bit.
Who won the state in basketball this year?
Northwest Florida. And Gulf Coast won in the women's, which was...
Gotcha. Is that Ruby?
I don't want to say a foregone conclusion. Yes, she's back.
Okay.
Ruby Scoville is back and better than ever, apparently.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
That's bad news
that's
for
bad
the rest
news
of the
for
state of
everybody
Florida.
else. That's right.
She was athletic
She's in the Hall of Fame already. She had just taken a different position at the college and got the coaching itch again. I was talking to her at one of the tournaments, and she's good for the game. She's so good. And again, the other coaches, I'm sure, are going, yeah, she's great for the game. We love having her back. But I think for people like me and you, she brings so many good players in. And this year their team was just so dominant. They were so good. And she's on top of the fact that she recruits well, she also is able to adjust and coach the players that she has. And that's, why you end up with a Hall of Fame career and national championships and state championships and all sorts of stuff. And again, she's good. It's good to see her back out there. But Northwest Florida State College men's basketball has been dominant the last few years as well, winning a national championship 2 years ago.
Panhandle Conference, huh?
Yep, basketball in the Panhandle Conference is a way of life. They're pretty good.
They've got a team in the, now, and even softball now, they've got a team in the, going to the
they're good.
NJCAA.
They're good in every sport, let's be honest about it. The only sport that they only have 2 teams competing in volleyball, Gulf Coast and Pensacola. So once they possibly add some more teams there, I'm sure they'll be good in volleyball as well. Here you've got the Mid-Florida Conference and the Suncoast Conference represented.
You need that listing? I think I've got one here.
Yeah, I was going to take a look at that. That one, ball 4. Bases are chucked. Yeah, Florida Southwestern won the Suncoast Conference with a 19-1 conference record, beating out second place State College of Florida Manatees. In the Panhandle, Northwest Florida State College was the conference champion by 4 games. Went 41-6, were knocked out earlier today by Florida Southwestern. Chipola College finished second at 10-6, but they hit a streak towards the end of the season and have carried that momentum over into this tournament. So we've got a meeting in the circle between the pitching coach and Kirshner. So they'll talk things over. And
we would like to thank the Treasure Coast Sports Commission for putting this fantastic event on every year. The Treasure Coast Sports Commission's mission is to strengthen the quality of life and economic well-being for the Treasure Coast region throughout recruiting, retaining, and supporting sports-related events just like the 2016 FCSAA Softball Championship. These activities will enhance the region's economy and exposure. Thank you to the Treasure Coast Sports Commission and Dodgertown for hosting this event every year.
Yeah, can't forget historic Dodgertown, the second year here for this tournament, and what a great location it's been. It was in Pensacola before, which was a great location as well. Pensacola is beautiful, especially this time of year. Man, I could go up there and find a lot of things to do, fishing and beaches, and it's the same here. It's you're moving a little bit more centrally located in the state, but you have sort of the same same features, the beach, the lakes.
Yeah, we screwed up not bringing a boat down.
You should have brought your boat. Although I don't think we would have had much time. We were here about 7:30 or 8 every morning and here till 10 or 11 at night. So if you could have found time to go boating in there, let me know for next year. Maybe we'll come an extra day early next year.
Next year we'll come down like Monday or Tuesday.
We'll enjoy Vero Beach. Lots to do here. Lots of fishing. Golf. We can play around a golf. We'll stay at the Vero Beach Inn and Suites again. I'd like to stay there again. I like that hotel a lot. And they got a big pool. They've got newly renovated rooms with wood floors. Everything was really nice. Smart TVs. Pull up your Netflix, watch a movie. Pull up your Hulu, watch a movie. So make sure you check out the Vero Beach Inn and Suites next time you are thinking about coming to the Vero Beach area. Like I said, we've stayed there the last 3 nights, and no complaints from me, that's for sure.
I slept quite well.
Me too.
After 14-hour days.
Yeah, could probably
slept
on the floor in here and been all right.
No, there's no AC in here. It would have been a little warm.
Good point. That one popped up on the infield. Shortstop underneath it makes the catch, and Seminole State gets out of a bases-loaded jam. They'll come to bat in the bottom half of the 5th, looking to make something happen. Due up for them, top of the order, Kate Kelly, Jordan Davis, and Morgan Williams. We'll be back. You are watching the FCSAA 2016 State Softball Tournament District H Championship game. The winner will move on to the NJCAA Tournament. Fly out to center field to start the inning. Bulinati right underneath it. Pop up from Kate Kelly. And just like that, an out for Seminole State. And they need base runners. Jordan Davis will try to do it for them against Gettins. Courtney Gettins threw a one-hitter earlier today against Northwest Florida State College.
Winner of this game gets Chipola College approximately 30 minutes after the end of this game
Bunts
for
one
the
off.
state championship.
Bunts one off the catcher's foot right there. Yeah, and who's going to hoist the hardware at the end? And stick around after that game because we will have the trophy presentation as well as the all-tournament teams and everything like that. Can't forget to thank Laurel Sue Smith for everything she does for this tournament. She's here about as long as we are, if not longer. Bunt, safe.
Not able to corral that over at first.
It's an error on somebody. And that's why you do the bunt. It looked like it should have been maybe caught. I couldn't tell where the throw was, but it's an error somewhere. So an E4 is the call. We talked that over with the scorer. But Seminole State doesn't really care what it was. There's now a runner at first with one out, and you have your number 3 hitter, Morgan Williams, up to bat with an opportunity to cut into this lead. And she hit one out last night that went a long, long ways over that right field fence. She'd love to recreate that if she can. The wind here today is blowing a lot harder than it was last night. It was blowing in last night, but it's harder today.
That's right back up the middle toward Getting. Getting not able to make the play.
Safe.
She slowed that ball down when it hit her glove.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where the pitcher would, you're the shortstop, you just tell her, let that thing go.
But then again, there's been that play earlier where it hits off the pitcher's glove and ricochets over to second, able to make the play. So you've got to make an attempt
It's
at
your
that
instinct.
if you're getting. Yeah,
I mean, it's your instincts take over and you hit it. It's just, again, if you're the shortstop, you're just hoping she doesn't, she stabs at it and doesn't touch it because you have a bead on the ball. You're following it all the way in. And now there is going to be a meeting in the circle with Coach Robert Murray.
And they are sending Brooke Sapp for Seminole State College over to first base to run. Sapp from Spar, Florida, North Marion High School. That's up in our area.
Yeah, it is. Not too far from Gainesville. So Sapp pinch running here in the fifth for Morgan Williams.
So now over at first base, running number 12, Brooke Sapp.
Runner at second base is Jordan Davis. Davis with some speed out there. She can score on something into the outfield. She had 38 steals coming into the tournament. 47 steals for Kate Kelly, who leads the team.
And the wind has picked back up. We're blowing again, about 15 to 20 miles an hour, dead in our face.
That one out to right. Catch is made by the right fielder.
Shallow
So
enough that that
out.
runner is not able to advance. Davis not able to make it over to third.
That was Stevie Ames who flew out to right field, and Aylin Kayada.
And if you're listening up in or watching up in New York, we appreciate that. I know we got a call yesterday about Ames. Wanted to make sure I had her name correct. We have that right now, and if hopefully you're still listening and watching up in New York City. Thank you so much for watching.
We appreciate it. I think we have some viewers in New Zealand, in New York, New Jersey, all over the country, so we appreciate you tuning in. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcasts that we have brought during this entire tournament. We've sure enjoyed it. These women deserve to have the best possible broadcast. They lay it all out there on the line for their colleges and have represented.
Right back up toward our camera crew.
Oh, Jason, heads up. Christina, heads up. But as I was saying, the colleges should be proud of the way their athletes have acted and held the way that they have held themselves.
I think Christina threw that back at us.
I think she did too. They
Count.
have
No balls, 2 strikes.
been great representatives for the colleges. That's for sure. That ball up.
1-2 to Kayada.
2 outs, runners at first and second. Seminole State would love to have one out in a gap somewhere, maybe plate a couple runs and start to become a threat. Right now, Gettins just has not been tested as far as runs on the board. It changes your outlook when you're a pitcher. When a team scores on you, there's a mental difference when you're cruising and putting zeros up every inning. You have a different outlook than when a team scores on you and starts putting pressure. That one hit up in the air. That rise ball, they're not able to square it up, and they are popping out a lot. And that time, no exception. So it will take us to the 6th inning. We have a 3-0 lead for Florida Southwestern State College. And due up for the Buccaneers is Grayson Gladden, Michaela Warahiku, and Savannah Ritalik. We'll be right back. You're watching the FCSAA State District H NJCAA game. The winner will advance on to the NJCAA tournament. back in Dodger Town in Vero Beach, historic Dodger Town. That first pitch fouled off by the Buccaneer batter Grayson Gladden. Got a defensive change out there. Looks like Tammy Garcia in to the outfield. We're trying to figure out what position. Well, 32 is still out in right field. That's
McCowan's still in right.
McCowan.
The umpire said that it was 21 for 2, which would mean it was for Kate Kelly.
Looks like Kate Kelly's still out in center field, though.
That's what I thought as well.
Well, we'll try to get that squared away for you. It's been difficult at times communicating with the umpires here just because of the distance from the field. It's not that far, but they have walkie-talkies, and sometimes there's some distortion, and the ladies are doing the best they can, that's for sure.
Rifle shot down there.
Pizzarelli gobbles it up, steps on the bag for the first out. So 3 unassisted for Grayson Gladden, and now Warahiku, they finally got her out. She flew out to center in the 4th. She singled and scored back in the 2nd.
After going 4 for 4 yesterday?
Yes, with 9 RBI in one game. A triple and a stolen base to boot. So she squares to bunt, because why not? If she bunts, she may get to 2nd or 3rd with it. Who knows the way she's been playing. She'll put it somewhere where the defenders aren't. She is just a talented player.
Huge gap out there in left center field right now.
Really good defensively as well. Warahiku, very solid. I don't know that you're going to see her go flying around in the hole, making diving stops, throwing people out from her knees. But she makes all the solid plays that you can ask for. And when you have a shortstop that hits the way she does, it's really an added bonus when they play good defense. 3-0 now to Warahiku, and she can run if she gets on base a little bit. So she had 32 stolen bases. So that's like middle of the road number, average number for the Buccaneers. 4-pitch walk puts Warahiku on with 1 out. And now Savannah Ritalik will bat. It's Warahiku's 2nd time reaching. And now
Ritalik hitting a 170 on the season.
Ritalik, a good defensive player. Same thing with Sam Luckett. The two of them are down at the bottom of the order, and they've been coming up with some plays in the field that make you say, oh, okay, so they have 170 and a 202 average. Why are they in there? Well, because they play such good defense, and they also come up with, it seems like, some timely hitting. It's probably what they did for Coach Murray all season. Sometimes you can't judge by the batting average because they do some other things. They lay down bunts, they handle the bat, and they are able to really help your team in other ways that don't go noticed maybe in the box score, but the coach notices, and that's who the coach is going to put out there, the people that he notices.
Looking at the pitching lineup right now for Florida Southwestern State College, right now Gettins is still in the – Jason over there scaring Scott.
Yes, snuck up behind me.
Gettins is still in the game. But if they were to move on and win this, are they going to continue to pitch Gettins again for a 3rd game today? Or are they going to bring in
No, they'll
Gorman?
pitch her. They'll pitch her. They'll pitch Gettins. She seems like the type of player that's going to say, Coach, I want the ball. The underhanded motion, although you get fatigued, it does not have that wear and tear on your shoulder like it does with the overhand throw. Foul ball. Foul ball called by the umpire.
She's only thrown 234 innings going into
It's pretty good, and she's thrown probably 30-something, or around 30 here this weekend. So what's one more game, you know? And honestly, it isn't, there are a lot of pitchers who do that at this level.
We're in the top of the 6th.
That ball hit. Diving stop by the 3rd baseman.
She throws it away.
Ball thrown away. The runner will try and score. Throw comes in.
Out at home.
Plate. Good rotation by the umpires. The umpire from first base came down to cover home and was right there on top of it, and a good throw cuts down the runner at home plate to save a run.
That was a great throw in there from Kadisha McGowan.
So a bunt single for, that was a bunt single for the batter. Who was that at bat? That was Ritalik. Ritalik was at bat. She gets the single. Advances to second. Warahiku thrown out at the plate. So she reaches third and is cut down for the second out. Now Sam Luckett will bat. That one popped up third base. Crisis averted for Seminole State College. They threw out the runner at home, and now they'll come to bat in the bottom of the sixth. Due up for the Raiders is Claudia Pizzarelli, Megan Langham, and Kirsten Osett. See if they can get on the board. When we come back, you're watching the District H Championship on the FCSAA Sports YouTube channel. Back at Dodger Town, Scott Jamison and Kyle Wilson. Kyle, one more game after this. It's been a fun weekend here in Vero Beach. At least for me it has. I think for you, I think you've had a good time too.
I have.
Been some good softball, some good teams, some good players, good coaching.
And great weather.
And fantastic weather. Not a drop of rain has fallen since we've been here. I'll tell you what, you're knocking on wood, but if the clouds roll in now, I'm not going to take the blame for it because it is blue skies out there, and the sun is shining bright. And the sun is shining right now on Courtney Gettins, who has twirled 13 straight scoreless innings, 12 straight scoreless innings here today. She's working on her 13th right now. That one out of play. You can still hear the Seminole players in the dugout cheering on their teammates.
For Seminole State, we have Pizzarelli, Langham, and Osett up to bat.
That one hit the first. Foul. Dorn and Pizzarelli, the two first basemen, kind of collided a little bit right there.
Now, we've already had one of those today. I don't think you saw that.
I didn't, but I heard about it.
Yeah, it was a pop-up right on the first base line, and the second baseman, Mackenzie Huey of Northwest Florida, absolutely barrels into...
Yeah, you can't do that. You have to give the fielder a chance to play the ball.
It was Dorn, actually, the first baseman now for
swing
Southwest.
And a miss.
And Dorn hit the deck, so did Huey.
What was the call?
Out.
Okay, yeah.
Called her out.
You have to run around the fielder at that point.
And the thing is, she could have easily, it would have been.
And sometimes you don't think. You just in that moment you think, oh no, that's my baseline. I'm just going to run her over. Well, you can't just run the defender over. You've got to let them play the ball, have a chance to make a play. Pitch in there for a strike from Gettins, and she is just cruising right now.
Yeah, Byerly from Northwest came out and was visibly upset with his player.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, he was over on third, and
well, it's a dangerous play too. You
yeah.
could get somebody hurt, especially if they're looking up and they're not ready to absorb the impact. That's a ball outside.
Easy to take out someone's knees doing that.
And I don't think she was trying to hurt anybody. Yeah, but you're right. It's good. Usually you go through this many games and you get some dirty plays or something. I have not seen any of it. It's been a cleanly played tournament, good sportsmanship from the games that I've seen at least.
Fuentes calls off Werehiko on that, makes the play.
So Florida Southwestern State College now 4 outs away from advancing to the national tournament, but still a lot of things can happen when you've got a team like Seminole State College with the bat in their hands.
And working to play their third game of the day, possibly versus Chipola.
They could, and we'll see if Gettins, like you said, rolls out there into the circle. If coach rolls her out there for the third game.
Gonna let her throw 21 innings for the day?
Sure.
Good night, alive.
Well, we'll have to see. Maybe they'll let another pitcher start, see where it gets them. Maybe they get a lead and can bring Gettins in. When on the ground.
To Dorn to retire the side. 1, 2, 3. Goes Seminole State College. The Raiders still trail by a score of 3-0. We'll be back with the top of the 7th. Kyle Jamison, good night. Okay, it's time for us to
take a break. Top of the order coming up from Fuentes, Scott Jamison, Kyle Wilson. We'll be back. FCSAA State Tournament right here on YouTube. Back here at historic Dodger Town in beautiful Vero Beach, Florida for 2016 FCSAA NJCAA Region 8 tournament. The winner of this game will be the District 8 champions and will move on to play at the national tournament in St. George, Utah, the Canyons Complex, May 18th through the 21st. So a pretty quick turnaround, a couple weeks to make travel arrangements and get ready to go for that tournament where the best teams in the country will meet to play for a national championship. It's about an hour and a half from Las Vegas. Beautiful part of the country. Get to fly into Vegas, drive through the deserts. And being a Florida boy, born and raised, it was quite the sight to see when I went out there with Santa Fe College a few years ago. You don't get to see that anywhere near Florida, so it was pretty neat. First pitch down low for a ball. Top of the order, Marta Fuentes leading off, and she's 3 for 3. Now 3 for 4. First time they've been able to get her out and keep her off the bases. And that'll bring up Bulanati. And she is 1 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt, a single and a run scored back in the first, and a fly out to center in the 3rd inning. One more game today will be the FCSAA Championship between Chipola College and the winner of this game. A lot of things can happen here over this last inning. We've seen that plenty of times in this tournament. It's nowhere near being over. That's going to be... I thought she went around. Yes, okay, the call is that she went around. I thought she offered the whole way, and it looked to be a strike anyways for Kirshner. Since the 2nd inning, when she gave up a run and 2 in the first, Kirshner's done a great job against this high-powered FSW offense. The lefty in spotting her pitches doesn't strike a lot of people out, only has 1 strikeout. Bulanati taps that one foul. The count remains 1-2. 1 out. Top of the 7th, sorry. Had to correct that. Said bottom of the 6th. It is top of the 7th. My apologies. Popped up on the infield. Second baseman takes it. 2 outs. And Rangiafa will bat. Rangiafa 2 for 3, singled in the first, singled in the second, and lined out to third in the 5th. She's batted every other inning, takes a strike on the first pitch from Kirshner. Rangiafa, one of 3 players out of New Zealand. That one's squibbed to the first baseman. She will shovel over for the 3rd out, so a quick inning. We are going to the bottom of the 7th. Seminole State, 1 more opportunity, 3 outs to get 3 runs. We'll see if they can do it when we come back. Their season is on the line. Florida Southwestern State College, if they can get 3 outs, they will clinch a spot at the national tournament in their first year playing softball. Not a bad season. They'll also have a chance to play for a state championship. We'll be back. You're watching the FCSAA tournament right here on the FCSAA Sports YouTube channel. Kayla Vajegas will pinch hit for Kadisha McCowan. So last opportunity for Seminole State College, a strike from Gettins, and she can right now toss back-to-back shutouts should she get out of this inning unscathed. She shut out Northwest Florida State College with a 1-hitter earlier today. She throws that one by Vajegas. And now quickly ahead 0-2. Seminole State down to their final 3 outs, possibly of the season. Swing and a miss on a nasty rise ball. She put a little bit extra behind that one for the first out. Gettins out of Hawke's Bay, New Zealand, one of 3 New Zealanders. She throws a strike. They make them tough in New Zealand. She's on her 2nd game of the day, and she's basically pitched almost every inning, almost, of this tournament. There's a strike, quickly 0-2. I think her mindset coming into this inning was come out and throw strikes, Kyle. I don't think she's wanting to mess around this inning and walk anybody or do anything like that. That one hit into center field, base hit. That's a knock for Kate Kelly.
And Seminole State with a little bit of life still left.
Well, that's all you can ask, is to give yourself a chance. They'd love to get one more base runner on for Morgan Williams. Give them a chance to maybe tie the game with a home run. And that's got to be the thought of Jordan Davis right now. She's not trying to do anything but get on base, no matter how she can do it. And now Gettins with a little bit to think about. There's a runner on. Davis trying to slap one over to left field. The left fielder is positioned in about 10 feet from the infield. The center fielder also positioned over. You can see her right there.
This is actually at the plate no longer Jordan Davis. She was substituted out for last inning. This is Tammy Garcia at the plate.
Stand corrected. Tammy Garcia. My apologies. That is Tammy Garcia in there.
Garcia, the sophomore out of Ocala, Florida, and the Villages.
Well, Tammy Garcia has the same thought as Jordan Davis, that you have to get on base right now. Up and out, ball 1. Because you are not the tying run. So you have to get on base to allow the tying run to come to the plate. And Garcia right now focused on doing that. Pops that one up.
It's going to fall.
That fell in.
And that's a mental error by Dorn over there at first. I think that would have spun foul.
Instead of touching it, yeah, and it's one of those things that your instincts kicks in and you touch it, but you do have to probably try to let that one go foul. And now, folks, we've got ourselves a game here now. The runners at first and second, and Morgan Williams, the home run hitter, is at the plate. You see the catcher saying, calm down, we're good, we're good. 1 out, 2 on. She's going to try to throw her that rise ball and get her to pop something up. You don't want to leave it flat. Williams will do damage with it.
So runners at first and second. Garcia at second.
Williams hits that one out to left. Foul.
And Kelly at second.
Williams steps back in. 1-1 count. 1 out. Runners at first and second. One hit foul again, now 1-2. Gettins ahead. She's trying to think of what to pitch next to try to get Morgan Williams out. And you get Williams out, you've still got to deal with cleanup hitter Stevie Ames. So no easy task with the next 2 batters. That ball gets away.
A wild pitch
and the
by
runners
Gettins.
move up to second and third.
Again, Seminole State trying to stay alive. One of these 2 teams will make their way to St. George, Utah, the Canyons Complex for the NJCAA Softball Championships, May 18th through 21st.
Big game.
Big at bat.
Huge at bat.
Runners on second and third now.
and they got to go after her. You can't put her on and bring the winning run to the plate. It is philosophy-wise, you can't do that, especially when you've already got 2 strikes. I'm sure that maybe crossed their mind for half a second, but it's just not a situation that you can put yourself in.
But you do have first base available.
Yeah, but then you potentially lose the game on a home run. You cannot.
That's going to fall in play.
That's a hit. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. It is 3-2. Williams knocks in a pair. The shutout streak for Gettens is over. And we got a ball game. And you can hear the crowd. They're excited. The Seminole State faithful.
We haven't had much crowd interaction down there from the start of this game. They are lively now. Seminole State scoring 2 now in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Well,
they're only down 1.
If you're in New York right now and you are family to Stevie Ames, think you're a little bit nervous right now, or do you just have faith in your family member or friend or whatever that they're going to come through? This is the type of situations you live for as an athlete. Some players are able to thrive in these situations and some players are not.
Ames going into the tournament, 29 RBI, hitting .333 for the season.
Well, it's one of the players.
No at-bats any bigger than this.
No, that's one of the players that you want up there. If you're Coach Courtney Miller, she's in your cleanup position for a reason. She has a hit, singled back in the first, grounded out, shortstop in the third, and then flew out to right field. And the tying run is at first, and Ames represents the go-ahead winning run. Pinch runner now at first.
It's going to be Caitlin Schwartz. Caitlin Schwartz, the freshman out of DeBary, Florida, University High.
So Caitlin Schwartz will come in to pinch run at first base. And this will be interesting. Schwartz, what's her speed look like on the base paths? Do you have any stolen bases at all?
1 stolen base on the season.
Okay, well, she hasn't played a whole lot, so
only appeared in 18 games.
And probably a majority as a pinch runner. I don't think they're putting her out there to steal. You know, if you get cut down at second trying to steal, that's a debilitating situation.
They're putting her in, I think, just that chance that she can leg out, single to outfield.
You're right.
Maybe get that extra step that Ames couldn't get, extra half step even.
Yeah, Williams, you mean? Yeah, Williams was at first. Now Stevie Ames.
Sorry.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. Stevie Ames now batting, though. Ames does represent the winning run. If she can score along with Schwartz at first, that one falls in. Base hit. Schwartz stands on second. They have not hit a ball hard except for Williams this inning. And
it's moving Schwartz over to second. Ames now at first.
Winning run at first, tying run out there at second base. Coach Robert Murray out there again. How many visits do you get in? Oh, okay. It must have been last inning he came out. I'm mixing up innings. So it's same as baseball then. Okay. Just made me stop for a second. I thought that was his second time coming out this inning. We have the head umpire here, so I figured if there was ever a guy to ask a question about umpiring, it was Richie back here. And now,
again, the winner of this game moves on to the Canyons Complex and the NJCAA Softball Championships. Winning run at first base.
1 out. First pitch ball from Gettens. She's been so good for the Buccaneers this entire tournament.
Kayada at the plate, 1 for 3 on the day.
And Kayada singled in the third, struck out in the first, and flew out to left field, really shallow left field in the fifth, right behind.
That was actually a fly out to third base, but the left fielder made the play.
Came in to make the play. Yeah, the third baseman was playing so far in, and so was the left fielder. Kayada. Pitch down.
We've got a good one.
Well, like we said earlier in the game, Gettins had been cruising. Well, you put a couple runs up, you start to get some hits, and now you make her think. Before, she wasn't thinking. She was getting up there, throwing her pitches. Everything was working. And now there's a little bit of pressure. Now there's a little bit of adrenaline that is pumping on both sides, and Gettins is now going to have to work out of this jam.
Got to be a lot of pressure. Bases
potentially. If she were to load the bases right here, we'll see with Kayada. That was outside. That was
load the bases.
She's frustrated. That's not a strike. That's off the plate in the other batter's box. And now aims at second. Caitlin Schwartz at third and Kayada at first.
Coming in to hit now, number 5, Caitlin Jones.
It's a big situation to pinch
hit. Freshman out of Orlando, Florida, and Dr. Phillips High School.
They've been known to turn out some pretty good athletes at Dr. Phillips High School.
Caitlin Jones, 9 RBI on the year, hitting .238. Coming in an absolute huge situation for Seminole State College.
Well, this is one of those instances where you see how much different baseball and softball are. Unless there's an injury here to Pizzarelli, you have a lefty going against a righty. You would never do this in baseball and bring in a right-handed pinch hitter against a right-handed pitcher. Pitch at the top of the strike zone. A little bit up, but in there. It's a dangerous pitch if you leave that ball up there. 0-1, bases loaded, 1 out. Jones just misses driving that one. Just missed it.
Anything to the outfield, you've got to think
they're going to try.
Send her from second base.
Well, you've got Schwartz, who came into pinch run, so anything to try to tag, at least, to get that time. Really, they're worried about tying this game up first and foremost. That's outside, ball 1. Tense situation for both teams. Seminole State, Mid-Florida Conference runners-up. Suncoast Conference champion Buccaneers of Florida Southwestern State. That one hit out to the outfield. We'll see what they do. They did not try to tag up. 2 outs, bases loaded. That's the right call. I mean, it's the right call. She's coming in on a ball that's 10 feet from the infield. You can't send her. Absolutely cannot send her right there. Good call by the third base coach. An easy call, really. And now it's up to Megan Langham. Langham ready. Pitch high. Well, you can't ask for a more exciting finish to a game. Seminole State down to their last out. Winning run at second. Pitch in there for a strike. 1-1. Megan Langham, the second baseman at the plate. She singled back in the second, grounded out to short in the fourth, and popped out to short in the sixth. That is hit to second base. Over to first. Ball game over. Florida Southwestern State has advanced to the NJCAA tournament. And a tough finish for Seminole State College. They had the bases loaded. They had their opportunities.
And they are now going to advance on to play Chipola here in about 30 minutes.
Well, a good game by both teams. Congratulations to Coach Courtney Miller and the Seminole State College Raiders on a great season. A tough finish, and nothing you can say to them right now is going to make it feel any better. Probably take a few days for them to get used to this one. But congratulations to Coach Robert and Murray and the Florida Southwestern State College Buccaneers, their first season of existence as the Florida State College, Southwestern State College Buccaneers, and they are headed to Utah.
Really impressive in their first season.
All freshmen except for one, except for Dorn. They have all freshmen except for Holly Ann Dorn is the only non-freshman on their team. Well, that's going to do it. Florida Southwestern State College advances to the NJCAA tournament May 18th to the 21st in St. George, Utah. They're going to have a chance at an FCSAA championship here in about 30 minutes against Chipola College. They played a really, really good game against Chipola earlier and blew a lead in the 7th inning, actually gave up 2 in the 7th to lose that game. And they're going to have a rematch of that one when we come back in about a half hour. Make sure you keep it right here on the FCSAA Sports YouTube channel. For Scott Jameson, Kyle Wilson, Laurel Sue Smith, Kelly Warren, Bill Hamilton, and everybody else, we will talk to you here in about 30 minutes. Make sure you have it here on the FCSAA Sports YouTube channel.